I'm here at the Wildlife Conservation Film Festival. I have two really what I call exhilarating filmmakers with films about rhino, which is so threatened in the wild right now because of the horn. I'd like to introduce Matt Braken, and your film is We Are Rhino?
Correct,
Okay.
We Are Rhino.
And I have here...
Sultan Ali Birdal. I'm from India, and I'm talking about the Indian one-horned rhinoceros.
Right, so what makes the two of you both so passionate about the rhino? Is it like something that you always identified with, or it's a political situation? What makes a person passionate enough to do these kinds of films? Whoever wants to go first can answer that for me.
Well, for me, I'm a wildlife lover since I was born. And I learned about the Indian one-horned rhinoceros, and I was really ashamed that I had no idea about it. And I was really disappointed they didn't teach us this in school.
And where in India were you born?
From Bombay, the city part.
Right, yeah, from Bombay, right.
Exactly.
Right.
And
nobody knows about
knew
Kaziranga
about it,
National
exactly.
Park and the one-horned rhino.
So me and 9 other students, we went all the way to Kaziranga, and we documented the one-horned rhinoceros and understood the aspects of its poaching. And I found the animal so fascinating.
It's so fascinating,
it was
right?
Beautiful.
Right.
And to be killed with one bullet
Right.
and see its horn chopped up for
Right.
nothing.
Right, for nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
The horn's made up of keratin, which is the same material.
Yeah,
used in
hair
your
and
nails.
fingernails for
So
nothing.
yeah, that made me really sad and passionate that I should do something about it.
But you are from India,
I am from
and
India.
yeah,
And
you
with a sense of
identify
pride,
with
exactly.
this animal.
Right.
But Matt, you're from Minnesota, aren't you?
Got it.
I remember you were from Minnesota. You know, what's in all of this for you? Because you are really passionate about this.
I am. I know I should be saving wolves or something like
No,
that.
no. I mean, everybody's got their thing that they want to do.
For sure, and my story was kind of interesting. I mean, we saw in the video there that in 1984, my grandfather took me to Africa for my first time. And I absolutely fell in love with the wild eyes of a wild animal.
The wild eyes of a wine animal.
Yes,
there was,
I
I guess, a
remember-
connection, right?
You know, it remembered the zoos and whatnot, and but to actually be there.
And look
was-
into the eyes of a
Yes,
wild
and
animal.
it's a very different
Yeah.
thing. And so many years, you know, I had never forgotten that first elephant, actually, those red eyes of the elephant. And then I was in the safari industry for many years. Just happened to grow up. My family friends had a safari business, so it was kind of a no-brainer. I loved Africa, loved animals, got
Right.
into the
You were
safari
working with
business.
them.
But it was a fateful call 3 years ago from a production company. Crazy enough, and here we are making movies. But I had no film experience, nothing. And a production company wanted an American accent to bring rhino poaching to the American audience.
And who better but you?
Right, they
but
found
there,
the right
there were
guy.
no other choices, right? The
Right
only
guy.
horse in the race, as we say, right?
And through that, I had always have a love of wildlife, but through that, I really found the need to save this species, simply because
Right.
it is such a pillar of the circle of life. And I found that if the rhino goes, because of the things that they eat and the very unnutritious grasses, poisonous bushes, the way they eat, on average, there's 100 other plant species that grow in the habitat of a rhino. And consequently, there's on average 150 plant, animal, and bug species within that ecosystem where a rhino lives. So it's full on
I don't think
necessary
anybody
for the
knows
circle
this.
of
I don't
life.
think anyone realizes. I certainly didn't know that. You know how important. I mean, I love them. I think they're important, but I had no idea about in terms of the ecosystem and how the plants and those particular animals all depend on each other.
And so that's exactly what it is, Wendy. It's that I do love the rhinos, but I love nature so much.
I think that's something that the both of you
sure.
have in common in filmmaking, right? Is one way to raise the awareness of it. Absolutely. What kind of plans do the two of you have going forward? Are you going to do more films about rhino, Sultan?
I think the rhinos are doing pretty well right now in India, but
Right.
as a filmmaker, I'm a scuba diver as well.
Oh, so you're going to go
And-
down next.
Yeah, definitely. I want to help nature as much as I can. just to raise
I like
awareness
that.
in my country, first of all.
Right. So would you say that's your goal? You want to raise awareness in your country,
Yes,
in
exactly.
India,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Matt?
Yeah. For me getting now into this, I mean, I feel in Africa we have a 5-year window here. In 5 years, either the rhinos will be extinct or they'll be on the road to recovery. And my goal, my mission, is to capture that, to document that, to be a part of that, and to hopefully help out on the side of everything's doing well after 5 years. But my mission is to either document them going extinct or document them surviving.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to document them surviving? What interested me was one thing that you said, though. You're willing to die for it. You are willing to die for it. You're risking your life if you go out there. That's a pretty heavy sentence.
If there's no money, if there's nothing coming to the community to keep
Right.
this thing alive,
Right.
they might as well go in and get it and get something. But if everybody's getting something and it's enough through education for food and whatnot, then the whole community starts to tattletale
Right.
on the
Right.
poachers.
Right.
Right.
If there's no money, if there's nothing coming to the community to keep
Right.
this thing alive, they might as well go in and get it and get something. But if everybody's getting something and it's enough through education for food and whatnot, then the whole community starts to tattletale
Right.
on the
Right.
poachers.
Right.
Right. If the
Yeah.
villages stood to gain a lot, if jobs and medical and education was brought up because of the saving of the rhino, they'd all get behind it.
Right.
Right.
And
Because they all
tourist
profit
dollars,
from
if
it.
they can partake in
And
having
that's
those
what you were
tourist
saying.
dollars.
Yeah.
And it is the point. That is the victory point. You make it the people who directly are fed back and paid back are the people who live around these
Right.
areas.
That's what has to be,
All
otherwise they
right,
have no vested
the kids have
interest.
more of a chance. They're taken care of mentally. There's careers.
I have one more question I
Go ahead.
wanted to ask Matt before we have to wrap it up. Your company that you work with is called ProTrack. Now you were also doing something with scholarships here to try and get, because you guys don't get paid anything.
$8 a day.
Boy, I can't spend that all in one place, can you?
$3,600 a year, and now it costs $2,000 to go through the training.
Right, and don't they
So
make
the
them
black
pay
South
something back?
Africans,
Right, that's what I remember.
They can
right.
never afford
Right,
that.
I remember this.
$2,000, so they go through training on a loan.
Right.
But imagine paying $2,000 back on a
Well, they're like
$3,600
indentured
salary.
servants, and they're risking their lives.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a win situation, but that's something I guess that the South African government has set up in a particular way, right?
And it's interesting, back to your point, where if I'm an African in the African community, and it's still to this day, I am a hero if I bring meat or now money back to my family or my village. It's
Right.
always been
Right,
meat,
right.
and now it's just money. It's still the same.
Right.
If I bring back meat, I'm a hero to the whole village. And now that we've fenced off all the African animals so they have no access, and now they go through the fence and they kill one warthog,
Right.
they're a poacher and they get arrested. And that what makes them a hero. And be able to get married and have kids and everything, that's their whole culture. So now it's better for them to go kill a rhino. If they come back to their community with that rhino horn,
Oh boy, that's a big prize.
If you make it a rule
Right.
that there has to be a social payoff in
Right.
any of these programs, that as part of whatever you're trying to do to save whatever you're trying to save, you have to make the community around the winners, and then you have a chance.
Exactly. I want to thank the two of you for being here, and Matt, this is Matt's second or third year with the Wildlife.
right, second.
Second year with the
Feels
Wildlife
like it's been-
Conservation
yeah.
Film Festival. Thank you for supporting us. Why do the two of you think that film is so important? And why is this festival so important?
I mean, look at here, look at this film festival, look at this screening. We educated so many people over here. I know there was a girl from China who completely agreed with us.
Totally.
And that was great. I mean, and video is the best way to communicate a message through online. The internet is so great to spread your message. So I think it's video film is a great way to
Right.
communicate.
It's a big way to communicate successfully.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. I mean, we have my girlfriend here 2 years ago. She wasn't an expert like she is now on the rhino poaching issue. I mean, there's so much stuff in the news. There's so many things that we could read, and there's so much
Right.
trouble here and here and here. And even in our own life, there's so much to-dos and whatnot.
Right.
And when are you going to ever pay attention to what's happening out there other than through film? Because film is entertaining. Film, I was even crying today.
It's entertaining.
incredible.
I was crying too.
Yeah.
That woman with the 9 rhinos, what's her name that was in your
Yeah,
film?
Salome.
Salome. She made me cry.
Me
Her
too, darn her.
9
Emotionally engaging.
Her
Yeah.
9, she's engaging, and she goes up to the 9 rhinos. You know, when I was in Casiranga, I was told by everybody, it's beautiful to say, oh, they're done, they're this, they're that, and I can't believe that. I didn't want to believe that. And then I see her with them. No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're living,
Film has
feeling
that power.
creatures.
Film
right.
has that power.
Film has that power. Film has that power.
Thanks you and you guys. You're
Thank you.
One other thing, Matt. One other thing. All right, because you've been to this festival more than once. The value of this festival and the mission. What do you think the value is? What do you think the mission is? Just from your own heart.
Well, the Wildlife Conservation Film Festival, now 2 years, and look at what I did this week. I've spoken to 3 schools. I've seen 20 films. I myself have learned a ton. And so around the festival, through the school talks, through all this kind of stuff, there are so many people that I personally was able to touch
Right.
and tell my message to because of this festival. Not only here in this theater,
Right.
but also in the schools that are part of
Absolutely.
this festival
And
as
actually,
well.
that is the bigger picture. You got out there and you touched the public, and that's what we want to do.
And it's hopeless sometimes, right? When we're out in the middle of nowhere with the camera rolling, it's hopeless. And then when we get together, it's like you find this island
No,
of
it's
like-minded
great.
people.
We're all energized. It's
Yeah.
all like-minded,
No,
but
you
you
get
talk
fired
to
up.
people. And even at the gala last night, those women that all won their awards, they all said the same thing. Well, we're just getting started. Well, you know what? Then it's not hopeless.
Yeah.
Okay, it's up to all of us to take it in our hands and do something with it.